Hey guys, this is Meghna. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reading out my personal statement and my UC supplemental essays. So if you don't already know, I'm a third year undergrad pre-med student at UC San Diego and I'm majoring in neurobiology, and so I'm going to be reading out the essays. So yeah, let's get started. So first, it's a personal statement. Share an essay on any topic of your choice. If the toothpick comes out clean, it is ready to be taken out. I remember looking up to my dad as the warm chocolate-laden fragrance filled the room when we opened up the oven door to check on the cake we were making for a special Mother's Day dessert. We made this cake every year, but this was the first time my father let me do more than just watch and pull ingredients from the pantry. I savored every moment, listening rapidly as he casually doled out advice, wanting to remember everything so I could do it even better the next year. Ever since then, baking has been a part of my life. It's not only a hobby, but rather a passion that has followed me through the tough and easy times as my escape from this world. Baking has traveled all over the world with me. Whether it was relaxing under the warm sun with a macaron in my hand in Paris, or a croissant in Rome as a reward for walking 20,000 steps, or admiring the blue mosque munching on a baklava in Turkey. Through these baked goods, I have learned about the diverse cultures of the world. The interaction that I had with the local bakery owner in a village in Turkey about our baklava helped me understand how the locals made it with minimal instruments. Trying different foods and learning about different cultures has helped me keep an open mind and experiment a bit. Baking, like life, is both unforgiving and inflexible. You need to have the correct ingredients in the right proportions to have a great result. We can, at the same time, substitute and still end up very close to what we want. A few years ago, to mark Father's Day, I made a vanilla orange cupcakes with a whole wheat flour, and for the frosting I used low-fat yogurt instead of the heavy cream so that it would be healthier and wouldn't add to my dad's ever-expanding waistline. While the whole wheat did not change the texture a lot, the frosting was too watery and started to drip from the sides. When such situations occur in life, I have learned not lose hope, pick myself up, understand the root cause, adapt, and retry. Baking has also taught me the power of patience. If you don't allow enough time for your dough to proof, the yeast can't release carbon dioxide, which means you won't have that beautiful rise in your final product. Have you ever come across a flat croissant or a hard crust? The missing ingredient there was patience. Baking has given me the ability to slow down and to take life as it comes. Sometimes when I'm waiting for a test result to be posted or when I'm suffering from writer's block, I just stop, breathe, go for a walk, and wait for the thoughts to fall into a familiar pattern, my version of letting the yeast work. For me, baking helps alleviate my stress and the satisfaction that comes from baking something that both looks and tastes good enhances happiness. My baking skills grew from the first single-layer chocolate cake with my dad. I've made fusions of old family recipes with new creations that I've discovered in my travels and have created memories and flavors that I'll cherish forever. The skills I've learned from the past decade of baking and exploring other cultures through food has allowed me to do more than just whip up a triple-layer chocolate fruit cake. I have learned patience, determination, creativity, to be open with new experiences, flavors, and cultures, and most of all, that these things are best when shared with others. So that there is my final draft for the personal statement. And so now moving on to my UC's essays. So just a background about the UC essay application, it's usually a checkbox where you can just check as many UCs that you want to apply to. And they have all of them have the same prompts. There's usually 8 out of which you choose 4. They should hopefully be of different topics that you choose so that it gives the admission officers, it tells them more about you. A bit of a background, I did serve part of freshman admissions for UCSD. Describe an example of your leadership experience in which you have positively influenced others, helped resolve disputes, or contributed to group efforts over time. An encounter with a statistic related to gender disparity in STEM careers piqued my interest about its causes and remedies. With one of my friends in school, I co-founded Venus Inspired this year with the aspiration to provide more opportunities to girls like me in their career goals by connecting them with pioneers in areas of interest, as well as in the area of mental health. We have a well-balanced set of students in my school in terms of gender, and most of us come from similar backgrounds. I would want to provide this opportunity to every aspiring girl child. As a new organization, we had to advertise a lot in the beginning. Due to the inception phase, the two of us met virtually twice a week to go over logistics and finalize our plans ahead for the organization. We planned for the kickoff event for over a month, arranged for virtual door prizes, and even got a number of speakers to present their experiences. During the many disagreements that we had while planning the logistics of the event, I took the onus to keep an open eye of communication with my friend, and we would resolve all of our differences quickly via collaboration or compromise. A couple of speakers were unable to attend due to work commitments, but we were able to mitigate the situation. The event was a big success, and we had a number of event attendees reach out to us about how inspired they felt. I continue to organize, advertise, recruit, and oversee outreach efforts, and we have an ambitious agenda for the next few months with an exciting slate of speakers. I myself have grown from the challenging experience of starting a new organization from the ground up. Most importantly, it has reinforced the ability to set an example and work with others. While I know that girls and young women may still encounter the archaic notions of gender roles, it is my hope that Venus Inspire will give them the tools and guidance with those situations. Every person has a creative side. It can be expressed in many ways: problem solving, original and innovative thinking, and artistically, to name a few. Describe how you express your creative side. So for this essay, I kind of changed what I wrote about. Used the same prompt, but I wrote about the baking. So the thing with the UC app is you don't submit your personal statement. It would just be the supplemental essay. So for the same creative side prompt, I used bits and pieces of my personal statement, and that was my final product for this essay. So I'm going to read that out. If the toothpick comes out clean, it is ready to be taken out. I remember looking at my father as the warm chocolate-laden air rushed from the oven when he checked out on the cake we were making for Mother's Day. We made this cake every year, but that was the first time my father let me do more than watch and pull ingredients from the pantry. I savored every moment, listening rapidly as he casually doled out advice. Ever since then, baking has been more than a hobby. It is a part of my life through tough and easy times, offering me a creative outlet. The opportunity to travel around the world helped my creative juices, and I can conjure a fusion recipe like a Turkish biryani with canned pumpkin paste. Baking, like life, is both unforgiving and inflexible. You need the correct ingredients in the right proportion to have a great result. We can at the same time substitute and still end up very close to what we want. A few years ago, to mark Father's Day, I made vanilla orange cupcakes with whole wheat flour and used low-fat yogurt instead of heavy cream for the frosting so it would be healthier. The frosting was too watery and dripped from the sides. When such situations occur in life, I have learned to pick myself up, adapt, and retry. Baking has always also taught me the power of patience. If you don't allow enough time for your dough to proof, the yeast can't release carbon dioxide, which means you won't have that beautiful rise in your final product. Have you ever come across a fat croissant or a hard crust? The missing ingredient there was patience. Baking has given me the ability to slow down and to take life as it comes. Sometimes when I'm suffering from writer's block, I stop, breathe, go for a walk, and wait for the thoughts to fall into a familiar pattern. My baking skills grew from that first single-layer chocolate cake with my dad, and through baking, I have learned patience, determination, creativity, and flexibility. So that, I believe, was my second essay prompt. So now my third one. So again, the major that I applied for in college is very much different than the major that I'm pursuing right now in college. So for most of the UCs, you can choose which major that you want to apply for, and they can be different. So for most of them, I applied computer science, but for UCSD, I think I did bioinformatics. So that's why this essay is going to be a little bit more CS related. So the prompt is, think about an academic subject that inspires you. Describe how you have furthered this interest inside and or outside of the classroom. I developed a love for software during my high school junior year. I was drawn to the inherent ability of how sometimes incoherent text can solve the most intricate of problems. Like a painter who uses his paintbrush to display their creativity, a programmer uses a mouse and keyboard to make software smarter with every new line. Every step forward gives you the opportunity to go back and fix the problem and strive ahead. The possibilities are unlimited. Who would not love something like that? After a few weeks of my coding class, I excitedly brought my new skills to my internship at Infralink Corporation, a leading scientific research and data analytics organization, and built an app to study the effect of mobile applications on the cognitive abilities of patients with early signs of Alzheimer's and dementia disease. After months of work, we tested our app and it was found to improve cognition by an average of 30% when used for about 2 weeks. I love seeing how something that others perceive as impersonal, like computer science, can actually be used to help improve a person's quality of life. My work at InfoLink inspired me to look into how I could use my newly acquired skill to help improve lives and access to information. Last spring, as we were dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic and local school governments were determining strategies related to school closures, I built a website that retrieves information from local and national agencies to report on school opening and closing status, instruction methods, reopening guidelines, and the number of students that have tested positive for the virus. It is my hope that others can use this website to make informed decisions about their school choice. I'm excited to continue this passion at the University of California so that I can continue to help the greater community through computer science. So again, key with the UC app is to not specify which schools. So as you saw in my essay, I said University of California. The reason why I said that and not like a specific school is because all the UCs can read all the prompts that you submit. So if you write the names of the specific UCs and a different UC set, it might not be the best situation. So I would suggest if you had to say UC or like a specific, had to go a little bit more specific, to just say University of California or UC. So that was the third prompt. So now moving to the fourth prompt. What have you done to make your school or community a better place? In third grade, I had a simple interaction with a classmate in the lunchroom that profoundly changed my perspective on the world. As I opened my lunchbox, I noticed that she did not have much to eat, and I shared part of my lunch with her. I went home upset that afternoon and told my mom about the experience and asked her to pack more food for lunch. The next day, my friend told me about a program called Pantry Packs that provides food throughout the year for those in need in my school district. That year for my birthday, I chose to collect donations to this program instead of birthday gifts and advertise by sending out emails. I collected more than 30 pounds of food that night. That tradition has continued for almost 10 years now, and I solicit donations outside of local grocery stores and organize online fundraisers, and the donations have grown to almost about 750 pounds of food and over $300 in cash for Pantry Packs. Though this seems like a large number, it dwarfs in terms of comparison to the problem that it attempts to solve. Healthy minds and bodies are essential for learning and growth, and I'm fortunate enough to contribute consistently towards this cause. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit and schools closed, my mind went quickly to families and children in my school who needed help with immediate things like food, clothing, and medicine, etc. My experience with Pantry Packs helped, and I reached out to the counselors at my school to see if they would allow me to run a donation drive for our students in need. I used social media to quickly set up a virtual gift card donation, reaching out to several friends and family from our school community. Donations poured in, and I raised over $1,000 in virtual gift cards, which were distributed to families affected by the pandemic. I think back now how a simple interaction with an 8-year-old classmate has helped contribute to my community in my own little way. So that there is my UC essays and my personal statement. If there's any other essays that you guys would like me to read out or anything else that you guys would like me to record in the college admission process, comment them down below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and like, share, and comment. And so thank you.